thanks everyone for joining us today on our Secrets to Driving Customer Retention webinar. Let's go to the next slide. Hi, so my name's Mike. I'm been in the customer success industry for the last 12 years, currently serving as a senior enterprise customer success manager here at Totango. I work with some of our top accounts, Schneider Electric included, hi Raymond, to ensure they are getting maximum value out of our partnership. So now I'll pass it over to Raymond, my partner on today's webinar, to introduce himself.
Hi, everyone. My name is Raymond Xie. I'm the Customer Success Operations Manager at Schneider Electric. We're in the data center market. Today, I'm very happy to share our real story about how we grow our SaaS business. Back to you, Mike.
Perfect. All right, so for today's webinar, next slide, we're going to focus on the value of composable customer success using Schneider Electric's real-world journey and how it evolved from a big dream to through some turbulence and developed into a customer-centric digital journey that Raymond and his team use at Schneider Electric to this very day. All right. So over my 12-year career in CS so far, I've seen many iterations and flavor of customer success. One of the things I've noticed in the past few years is a shift from a more siloed acquisition-driven funnel into a focused funnel derived from customer outcomes and net dollar retention. So first and foremost, that shift has required some organizational commitment to creating sustained shared value that connects all of the frontline functions from CS to sales to product to marketing and customer service. Ingrained in that shift is this concept we coined around composable customer success, which is purpose-built on a modular foundation with embedded intelligence and flexibility that gives modern CS teams agility that they need to reflect that cyclical nature that is customer service, allowing teams to get started quickly, iterate, and optimize outcomes to increase customer value. So one more slide before I hand it over to Raymond. So I wanted to leave you with 6 principles of this composable customer success. So the first is a modular building block, which allows you to mix and match CS programs to create modern experiences and workflows, while retaining the ability to incorporate quick pivots and changes that is vital to any business. Next is a unified design and run, which is the ability to design, build, run, and measure your entire customer journey within one system. After that, we have a multidimensional customer view, which is unified visibility into each customer, serving up only the data you need, while it's underpinned by a schemaless data model from all your data sources. Then we'll have embedded best practices so that your entire customer success team can have a unified best practice derived from a marketplace and community contributors, so that your program gets smarter every single day and for every interaction. Fifth is a friction-free orchestration, which is shared participation, handoffs, seamless cross-functional organizational communication that breaks down silos and empowers everyone to deliver customer success outcomes. And then finally, it's outcome first. So it just allows you to get started and iterate without all the answers and then recalibrate as needed. All right, so now over to you, Raymond, to start talking about how you put these practices in place at your organization.
Thank you, Mike. Hi, everyone. Yeah, in the next 15-20 minutes, I'm going to share our journey, a real life story, how we grow our SaaS business, how we leverage Totango's composable customer success technology, along with data and analytics to achieve our big dream. So our journey started with the big dream to be disruptive. Like I mentioned, we're in the data center monitoring business. We want to be disruptive, leveraging AI, machine learning, cloud, latest technology. That was 4 or 5 years ago, so it was a very hot topic at that time. And we thought that it's like a blue sky. We're very optimistic because we have a very talented engineering team. However, as you know, there's always turbulence. Life is not like a blue sky. So today I'm going to share with you how we were going through the turbulences, surprises, sometimes even failures. But leveraging the technology we have, the customer success platform, along with data and analytics, to help us get through the storms and take off our business successfully. So what is our big dream? So our big dream is connect and monitor your data center in 30 minutes. 4 or 5 years ago, even now, to deploy a software solution to connect all your data center devices and monitor them, track all the alarms, track all the trending data of the performance of your sensors. That project typically is a professional service project that can go on for sometimes 3 months, 6 months to a full year. And our solution is supposed to be very simple. It's web-based. You download a short gateway, and we will be able to connect and monitor your data center in 30 minutes. The only thing you need to do is go to ecostructureIT.com. So that was our starting point. But we fully realized that to achieve that big dream, from day one, we need a 360-degree customer success platform. So we were very pleased to invest into Totango customer success platform. That is really the center piece of all the data integration. As you can see from the data diagram, day one, we decided to build a team and integrate all the account data, contract data, product usage data, customer touch points at the launch of our product.
Hey, Raymond, so how long did it take you to complete your initial integration?
Good question. Actually, a majority of the integration, like account data, support data, like customer user data, we can integrate them very easily. We only use a few weeks thanks to the very easy integration capability of Totango. But it did take us 3 to 6 months to integrate the product usage data. That is the part you see that we track every single click of our users on their mobile phone, on their web app through Segment.io. So that requires some engineering development. We need to plug into the product instrumentation API into our production code. So that takes 3 to 6 months. So my recommendation is really to plan a few months for your integration and use some consulting service from your vendor as much as possible. That's a great question. Yeah, thanks, Mike. Now, one thing I do want to mention is that you want to apply your data and analytics to all customer success life cycles. I think that's something Mike mentioned early on as well. Basically, throughout land, adopt, expand, and renew, you want to have a clear visibility in each life cycle that you know the performance of your product. It's like the cockpit of engine, right? Of your plane when you are trying to take off, especially during takeoff, is very risky. There are a lot of challenging scenarios. So you do want to have the best display of the performance KPIs readily available to you. And it's worth to mention that Totango provided that capability. The Composable Customer Success technology provided many templates. On the left-hand side, that is what they call the success blocks we built around their composable architecture, onboarding, adoption, and inside each success block, you can design, you can leverage some of the KPI, they call it scorecard templates, to show your performance. These are the live scorecards we're using right now to drive trial activations and trial usage. Just a quick introduction to our software onboarding process. It requires a user to log into our web portal, sign up, then download gateway software, then use that to connect back to our cloud. Then we have an automatic device discovery capability. So the gateway can run through their network, connect all the devices, and the entire process supposed to finish within 30 minutes. And guess what? When we first deployed this to our customers back in 2019, and we really experienced a very long onboarding time. And thanks to the data that provided that visibility, you can see in January, our average onboarding time was very high, close to 7-8 hours. The unit is minutes. And because we have planted the product instrumentation API, and it connect the data to Totango and to our engineering platform, we were able to identify what are the showstoppers, why it took so long. Our engineering team were able to leverage that data and resolve software issues and stabilize the onboarding time in a few months. Although it's not 30 minutes yet, but after 6 months, you can see it down to somewhere around 40-50 minutes. Another turbulence we encountered was the high drop-off rate. We realized that half of our customers were not able to connect. And after some investigation, we realized that most of the customers who were not able to connect, they had a very strict firewall policies, especially from finance and banking industries. So we did a vertical market analysis, and you can see the customer distribution, especially for customers who are able to connect. Majority of them are in retail, education, healthcare, manufacturing industry. So this kind of study help us to realign our resources and realign our market focus to the sweet spot that we're supposed to serve. One thing I want to mention is that it's very important to automate your journey. And one of the elements of journey automation is a data-triggered email campaigns. And Totango provided that capability. Here is one example. Whenever customer connection is disconnected, an email will be sent to the customer automatically. Besides some of the easy analytics and data points, one of the things that you always want to track, especially when you're launching your business, is to track active users. Not only the monthly active users. If you look at the bottom left chart, you can be fooled by looking at a very beautiful curve growing up and saying that, oh, we did a good job and monthly active users are growing at a steady pace. But you want to ask yourself a hard question: how many of these monthly active users are actually active on a daily or weekly basis? So the top right chart, DAU versus MAU, that will give you the insight. How many of your monthly active users are actually active on a daily basis, right? And you can see it's growing, but it dropped down in July. Any type of this fluctuation will give you some signal that you need to do further investigation. Luckily, in our case, we quickly realized that might be caused by the summer vacation month. People are taking time off. So in general, activities are pretty slow during those few months. Key feature campaigns are very useful as well, especially if you want to drive customer retention. You always want to feed them what's new we can offer. any type of new feature release we launched, we want to not only send them campaigns, trying to increase adoption, but also we track customer usage and send out follow-up campaigns on customers who have not used the key features we launched in the last 30 days. So that is very powerful. I mean, you can send a bland email to everyone, and that's it. But however, it will be much more powerful if you can send up a follow-up email saying that here is our new feature. Why you haven't used this feature for the last 30 days? Did you know this feature can solve this particular problem? And we knew that, for example, you click on the UPS page. You are using your UPS web app. However, you have not used this particular add-on feature yet. Maybe you want to give it a try. So those type of campaign and plus very customized message is very powerful to drive customer retention. Software version analysis is very useful as well. In this example, we learned that more than half of our customers are using older version of the software. Therefore, we developed an automatic software upgrade capability. Monitor your, not only monitor your growth, but monitor your growth rate is very important too. In this case, we track the growth rate month by month and realize that it's pretty flat. So something is staggering right now. We need to look at why we're not growing as fast as we want. So that prompted us to look into what we call diagnostic analytics. Basically, we want to identify the common characteristics of the top 10 our best customers. We call it sticky customers. We examine their alarm history, inactive days, type of devices they have, and soon we identify, oh, these customers, they tend to be at the edge of the data center, not at the core data center. They tend to be very easy to onboard their devices. And these type of analytics help us to quickly pivot our strategy towards the edge instead of the core data center, those large data center customers. So we, after this analysis, we define or realign our strategy, and that facilitated the subsequent growth of our business. Customer satisfaction score is very important. Totango allows us to send out customer satisfaction surveys periodically so that we get constant customer feedback, and we build this into customer health definition. And our campaigns and customer success managers can react and can leverage the information from our customer feedback. Speaking of customer retention, I think one of the things that you want to monitor is both account renewal rate and revenue renewal rate. In our case, you can see our revenue churn is low, our revenue renewal monthly rate is pretty high. It's over 100% because there was some upsell included, but the account renewal was very low. And we realized that we had some small accounts that are not really the best customers for our products. And when you see this type of situation, you can typically almost predict the customers who did not renew their small customers because they don't affect your revenue renewal rate too much. And we did some further study and also had meetings with sales and trying to optimize the quality of the customers coming into our renewal team. But at the same time, we are reaching out to these small customers and trying to make them successful and help them to have a healthy business and renew ASAP. Customer health score is very important. That's a proactive analytics. Basically give you early indication if your customer is going to churn, is it going to renew. We carefully selected 5 different categories and use the data available in each category to define our health score. Luckily, Totango has this very easy to use customer health score definition that we can leverage.
Raymond, one important thing I always see with health is verifying its accuracy. So I'm curious how you approached verifying the accuracy of your initial health score with against the reality that your team may have been seeing out in the field.
Right. Yeah, we heard that questions a lot. Typically, we do 2 exercises. The first exercise we do is to make sure our health definition is accurate. So we look at our poor customer, the customers with a poor customer health scores, and see if they did churn or not. You want to see that majority of your poor health customers, they actually churn. The second question we ask is around sufficiency, meaning that for customers who churn already, did the majority of them have poor health scores or not? That means if your health definition is sufficient or not. So just some quick tips there. Yeah, thanks for the question.
Thanks, Raymond.
Yeah. One thing I do want to mention is that whatever customer success platform you are using or you want to use, make sure that it has this weekly trend or the history. You can check the customer health involvement. Make sure that you understand the customer health not only currently but for the last 3-6 months. This will help you to make the right judgment or provide the right action when you get back to the customer. It's worth to mention that the customer journey automation is very important. You want to have a tool that can help you visualize that, help you to edit even the customer journey right on the visualization. Luckily, I think Totango had this canvas feature launched recently, and we were able to leverage that. It has been a very powerful tool, help us to automate customer journey. Team performance management is very important as well. We had we had about a dozen customer success managers 4 years ago. Now we grew that to 200 people right now, and we have 4 different customer success teams. With this type of visibility and tool, you can look at load balancing. You can refine the tasks you defined for those customer success managers and trying to streamline, optimize the performance. So here is our result. We were able to grow from $0 to $3 million recurring revenue in 3 years, thanks to the data analytics and composable customer success technology we leverage from Totango. And hopefully you learn some little bit tips and secrets of driving customer retention here. Thank you. Back to you, Mike.
Thanks, Raymond. Let's go ahead and flip over to the final takeaway slide there. So yeah, hopefully this was helpful for everybody. So as you consider taking some of this content into your own organization and pioneering a trail similar to Raymond, we wanted to break out a few final takeaways just to leave you with. So one of the first most important things that we touched on towards the end was ensure your health score is a good predictive indicator. Health scores serve as a great early warning system for CS orgs of all sizes, but they're not one size fits all. It's very important that you calibrate that to your organization and then audit it regularly to ensure it's still an accurate reflection of reality. Next is you don't have to start from scratch. There's a lot of pre-built things already within the tools themselves, including Totango's Journey Marketplace. So go in there and review some pre-built success blocks that match your organization's core journey stages. And then finally, take action on what your system and your data is telling you to implement. It's very important to use these tools as what they've been intended to, as a tool, and then using those tools to inform business changes and practices that'll make everyone run more efficiently. So with that said, I wanted to open it up for any questions from the team. All right, looks like we have one, Raymond, around how did you address your initial stagnating growth?
Yep, that's a good question. I think there are many angles so you can tackle the problem. Sometimes the root cause is not very obvious. And to us, we were always trying to find what we call the beachhead market, the market that is a sweet spot for our product. Initially, we were trying to tag the entire data center market. And we really encounter some like slow, stagnating kind of growth there. And we realized that maybe we should look at some vertical markets that is growing very fast, that are adding more devices on weekly, monthly basis. So that type of vertical market analysis would be one recommendation I want to mention. There are certainly many other ways for sure.
Oh, thanks, Raymond. Looks like we have a couple others. Was your organization open to going for a platform like this from the beginning, or did it take some persuasion to get them to see the benefit?
Good question. Yeah, no, our leadership team 4 or 5 years ago, they were very open. I think they were very well versed in the SaaS business, customer success technology. I think it was pushed from the top that we wanted to have a customer success platform, and we went through maybe 3 to 6 months of evaluation, trials of different platforms. Finally selected our customer success platform. So that was kind of a quick history.
Perfect. Yeah, a couple more here. Have you been able to increase user activity?
Yes. And the way we were trying to increase customer activity is really through the customized digital journey. Like I mentioned before, that the product instrumentation API is so critical, because in many cases, customers did not really, or customers were not very active because they did not know what we offer or what new capabilities we added. And with this product instrumentation API, we can look at customers visited one page. For example, they visited this sensor page, but they have not really clicked the sensor trending graph for the last 30 days. Then we can send a very customized message to this user saying that, hey, did you notice that you can not only say the summary of the sensor performance, but you can say the performance for the last 8 days, for the last 8 hours, or for the last week. So this type of customized campaign tend to be very useful to drive customer usage.
Awesome. So another campaign related question. Do you categorize your end users for targeted campaigns? Example, to an admin or product owner? And if so, how do you do that?
Oh, yep. Yeah, we do that. When a user signs up on our web portal, he or she would be able to assign a role. So the first user is always an administrator. And the second or third user, the first user can assign them as a regular user or another administrator. In our campaigns, for some of the campaigns that are more like management of our platform, administration of our platform, we only send them to our the administrator user space. However, that is just a very simple categorization. We haven't really done much more advanced version of that.
Got it. Okay. Several more questions coming in. Let's see what else we can get at. One was, how did you start with your first version of your health score in that initial planning?
Oh, good question. Yeah. So the first version of your health definition, you want it to be simple. At the same time, you want it to cover multiple facets of the different areas, right? So you want basically customer usage, you want customer feedback, you might want to use some sentiment from your customer success managers. Typically, the first definition of your customer health score is really limited by the data you have. So first, you have to leverage whatever data you have, and then trying to have the coverage more broad than just a single score.
Perfect. Just a few more left. We'll look at the next one here. Just any best practices or tips for enabling your CS team using Totango?
I think, yeah, Totango is very easy to use and very modern UI. But sometimes I was when I started to use, I was too kind of arrogant and saying that I don't have to go through any training. It's so easy. I click here, click there. But I think my recommendation is to going through some training. I know there is a certification program coming in the upcoming Totango Summit in September. I would highly recommend people to going through that training and certification, and also have a team that can regularly collaborate. I have another digital journey manager who's doing audit on the things I'm doing on a monthly basis, and that tend to be very helpful as well.
Perfect. Yeah, no, I think enablement's really important. I see that a lot with my customers too. The tool is only as good as the folks knowing how to use the tool. So we have plenty of resources. Feel free to reach out to your CSM or anything like that in terms of enablement needs, and we're always happy to help. Just two more questions, and then we'll get everyone on their way. So one, just really simple, how many accounts do you have and how many CSMs, if you're willing to share, Raymond?
Oh, sure. So we have 4 product lines. I'm going to speak for the product line I'm managing. For the product line I'm managing, we have 10,000 customers. About 3,000 of them are paying customers with some paying assets, and we have around I would say 16 customer success managers, and we broke them into tiers like high touch, medium touch, low touch, and tech touch. So for high touch customers, we basically limit that to, for a single CSM manage anywhere between 20 to 100 of them, depending on the region.
Perfect. And last question, I appreciate everyone hanging out with us a little bit longer today. Can you explain your for sales to CS handover, how that worked at your organization and how it led to higher customer retention?
Yeah, that's a very important question. So sales to a customer success team handover is very critical because you don't want to give customer success team any surprises. So what we do is that we work with our sales team, and we're trying to inject our customer success managers during the early phase of the sales cycle, whether they are doing a tutorial or they're doing onboarding, doing training. The customer success team is positioned as a subject matter expert to the sales team. Resource they are able to leverage, not to compete with them, but some resource that they can really leverage to close deals for them. And that will also bring some input from the customer success team to sales team as well, because we want quality customers. to have a very good renewal rate, you really have a quality SaaS customers into your renewal pipeline. So by the joint effort between sales and customer success team, you have a better chance to achieve that.
Definitely. It's always great we can get the sales and the CS teams pulling on the same rope and playing to each individual strengths there. So with that said, just one more slide here. Thank you everyone for taking the time to, out of your morning and afternoon with Raymond and I. Really appreciate you hanging out over and listening on some of those great questions. Just wanted to leave everyone with, to let everyone know that there's still time to register and attend our Customer Success Summit in beautiful Miami Beach in mid-September. We have just over a month left to go before the event. And as Raymond mentioned, there's lots of good certification programs, and we're going to have another track just dedicated to even more success stories from some other Totango customers as well who have been so great and successful with their tool here. So thanks again, everybody. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week, and I hope to see you in Miami next month.
Thank you. Thank you. Great questions, and so happy to share with you.